Hello everyone, welcome back to Infinity Isles. Today we're finally finishing an enchanting setup after an embarrassingly long amount of playing, and we're going to go to the resource world to get some cherry logs, and we're going to pick up some dripstone along the way. I finally added a stable and various decorations to the animal pens because these guys were just standing out in the open before, so I figured I'd finally give them a more suitable home. Finally, I got a happy ghost. He's currently in timeout for misbehaving. Let me know if you have any name suggestions, because I don't know what to call this troublemaker, and maybe in future we'll find a better place to store him. And then I was off to the caves to find dripstone, because I was not waiting for my farm to generate all that. But I made it all the way to the world border and I still couldn't find it. And then on the way back I found dripstone right next to a cherry grove, so so much for that idea. I did fly around a lot though. I love how you can just zoom through these caverns looking for what you're looking at. It's like an aerial thing that you just don't have on the surface either. Caves, I think, are a lot more central than they were even back in the beginning of the game, which I think is amazing. Honestly, I love where the game is at the minute, and I can't wait for copper golems on the server once we do eventually update. I also later decided that going to the resource world for cherry logs was really not optimal, so I decided maybe it's time that we work something where I can farm them manually, because I don't want to make a TNT duper, and that's where this came from, although you'll see at the minute I'm farming warp stem instead of cherry logs because I got as many as I needed. And then I decided, after running out of bone meal from farming all of those stuff, that we would build a moss farm as well. Credit goes to Basic Redstone for the design, and while it does only do 700-ish an hour, I think that's plenty for me to just leave it running. Then I joined some friends in falling from build height to bedrock. Then I liberated a few villages of their alarm system. I'm sure they won't be needing that. If they do, they can take it up with my lawyer. And then we did end up getting the dripstone and the cherry wood that I was looking for. Hell yeah. About time. Now that I have these resources, I can finally finish the big build and finally have that open air. Should we call it a mansion? I don't really want to call it a mansion because it's 2 rooms and like a platform. I do want to put a fountain on there though. I think that would look nice, but that of course will have to be something for our next episode. And then considering all this effort I went in to get the dripstone because my farm was too slow, I didn't even show you guys the farm, so here it is. Now I know it's a bit small and you'll say that's why it isn't fast enough, but realistically I would have to make this thing huge to even compare to anything that I could just gather manually, so I think I might have to figure something else out. And then I decided to build a really big open house here because I didn't like that I only had one viewpoint all the way up there, so now we can look over the town from a much nicer angle. And pretty soon I want to build a tower over here that overlooks the bridge as well. But that, I think, will have to be for the next episode. I'm thinking of building a lot more farms in the future as well, because they're nice and practical, and then you have like sort of a reason to decorate. So I think that's what I'll do moving forward. Next up, I'm thinking of like a mini bamboo farm that I can use to automatically craft chests, so I don't have to keep doing that for like redstone, which I imagine will come up a lot in some future projects as well. Which does mean I need to collect a lot more quartz as well, but I think I'm going to put that off, just like everything else.